Alrighty. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Thursday now, so that's pretty cool. We're getting towards the end of the week. We've passed Happy the Hump Day, which is Wednesday. And the action we see in the marketplace seems to be slow and steady, but nothing dynamic. Nothing too wild. It just seems to be cruising along. Yeah, check that out. I was waiting for you to show up. Thank you, middle age. Yeah, crude oil tried to pop. I know. Let's take a look at that. Let's see. I need to skip this thing here. So, a second. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Now I can see it. All right. So, since you started off, that sounds good. Let's go take a quick peek at that. Let's see. Where am I at here? There is where's the triangle at, or the flat? I guess it's a flat triangle, right there. Yeah, it popped up to the up to it, backed off, and then let's go check out your. Let's see, what was it? It was a 4 hour. I think it is a 4 hour, right? Of the there it is, the 4 hour, and you can see here it did climb through it, and then it fell below it, and then climbed up to it again, and bouncing around in there. And you can see our work had gone up, but look at that. It was just one big spike. That was the, let's see, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 4 is 24. So basically that's the inventory report that comes out on Wednesdays. About 10 in the morning there. So that's what that 10:30 to be exact, and that's what that spike was. And you can see that after they spiked it, it fell down the next 4 hours, and then it tried to climb again, and we got into that little volatility signal, and now we're breaking down again. So I'm wondering, are they going to go after this again right here? Go to the flat line one more time. We're looking at 1, 2. Wow. Is this 3 here? I mean, what is all this? 1, 2. There's some type of formation trying to be. Let's throw another one of these in here. There's a formation in there trying to be. Let's put it that way. And let's make that. Let's see, where is it at? Where's my arrow? There's my arrow. Let's just make that dashed like that. You can see it's trying to 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. 3. It's awful tight. I guess you could pull this down a little bit, like that. You can see it's tangled up in this triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. It's a really odd situation. It's more of a flat, and it comes down and meets the flat, and then it comes back up again. And now we're breaking down here. Now the question is, will the price break down? If this does something like the last time it did it over here, see our internal. I like to refer to this as our internal algo, or quantitative information data. In other words, the histogram in the white line, our indicator, is basically telling us that the last time it broke down, it didn't go down. And then it tried to climb back up, and it didn't really go back up. And then it tried to go down. It didn't really go down. In other words, this is one of the better slides right there, and it stops. Once they sell it, it seems like it's over with. It goes into another resting. Each one of these, a lot of old traders like to refer to these are resting spots, where it's, boom, it's happened, and now they rest for hours and try to figure out what they want to do again. In this case here, this one's not really dropping too dramatically at all. Matter of fact, it can't even take out that low. So, and it expire at in an hour and a half, it'll be a new bar. And so, does it try to climb and come up into this area here again, up into the 46s? Just an incredible flag situation. I guess we can tighten it up and kind of emphasize how odd it is. And then when we go and look at the daily, right there, you see that same situation there. We've had a lot of these flats. Gets into one of those modes, and it doesn't. It's a channel. Basically it's about a $2 channel, $2.50 channel, something like that. So let me put my glasses on so I can see what you're saying. So Middle Age says crude oil tried to pop yesterday, but they sold it off by the end of the day. Wanted to see if you could take a look. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm watching it close. Yeah, so am I, because we're both watching it. I mean, it's a good conversation. It's that end of the year stuff too going on. Where were we at the beginning of the year? Let's go over to J4X. And you can see here, this is the Swiss, and we'll go back to the currencies in a second. But J4X And let's look at West Texas Intermediate. Right, where's it? Right there. All right, and then let's make it a weekly right there. And where did we start the year off? So in other words, are the shorts trying to cover? You know, I don't know how many. Let's make this bigger for a moment. There's the beginning of the year here. Not particularly, really. It seems to be, it was in the 40s at the beginning of the year. And here we are in the 40s at the end of the year. And the real drop came in, oh no, wait a minute, I'm wrong. There it is. There's January, I'm sorry. So 64. So are they trying to cover their shorts? I mean, it has a look like that, but it doesn't seem to have any follow through. But that does look like they're trying to cover their shorts. Also, the shorts may be the solid profit side of this. So what happens, as I take a bite of the apple there, what happens is that the tax situation, again, another tax situation. See how bad taxes are? They interfere in commerce constantly. That's what the problem with taxes are. They force people to make investment decisions that are not economically wise. They're tax wise. So, all right. Let's slide over to, let's bring this back down. And we'll keep an eye on it with, like you. And let's go back to the, let's go to daily. Right there. And then let's put the Swiss in there again, like so. And there's the Swiss breaking down the channel right there. We're starting to see some real damage to that channel that's been going on for, I don't know, what is it, 7 months, 6 months, something like that. We're making another move to the downside. We have to assume, you know, I mean, obviously that's telling us the dollar is going down and the pressure is on there. Now, when the dollar goes down, you know, crude oil, I would see, so it makes dollars cheaper. They can buy crude oil. Do they buy crude oil because of it's cheaper now? Could that be? You know, I mean, it is denominated and transacted in dollars mainly. So, you know, again, it's a mechanical thing going on here more than it is like, oh, goodness gracious, we want to get long oil because the markets are getting strong. So, and you can see here the dollar is weakening more and more and more. All right. And you can see all the red here for the last 3 days. And you can see it here. Never even turned green here for this little bounce there that we had. And you can see the lines are rolling over again. Just like when it went up to the daily buy and stalled out. That's where that daily buy came in there too, right here. That's about that. Let's jump over to the euro. Let's see what the euro is doing. Last I saw it was very firm. Let's see who's dinging. A ding. Let's see. Not there. I'm being asked to check out a company. After the webinar. There we go. All right, now, let's see, what are we looking at? Oh, yes, there. Let's go to euro. And there it is, the dollar against the euro right there. You can see the firmness. We're through the 21 now. You see that strength there. And also at the same time, just as on line 21. Oh, there, that's funny. Let me just go back to, oh yeah, I guess so. So they pushed it into a buy last week, the Swiss. And now it's been in a daily sell for a couple of days. And this is the third, this is going on the third day. 2 full days in a sell. Now going up to line 14. 6 weeks in a buy and 7 days in a buy on this. You can see the strength in here. And let's put it there too at the same time. On Chicago Quant. Chicago Quant, which I guess we were looking at the RSI in the euro. Interesting. So it gave a sell signal, but our work is telling us up, up, and away. I'm not even challenging the time manifold there. Let's see. Now, let's jump over to. Let's see. Let's see what else can we. So we jump over to cable. Let's see how the cable looks. Right there, another one trying to break the top of that range. Let's see if we can widen this out a little bit. There we are. And at the same time, let's stick it on J4X and see how it looks. Looky, 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 right there. There we are. And so you can see there the strength. You know, it's there. You know, it's definitely there. And you can see on line 13, 7 full weeks in a buy and 2 days in a buy. And when we widen this out here, you can see this jumping around a little bit. Yeah, another one that's staying very firm and now trying to break the top of the range there. That range we looked at, that goes back 2 years ago. That's that black line is representing a resistance from 2 years back that just keeps on resisting, you know. And you know, when we look at the Swiss, the way it's rolling over, you have to wonder, you know, how much more energy. There should be more energy coming into these other pair trades with the dollar going down. All right. Then we usually jump off from here. We go take a look at the Turkish lira. Right there. And it's 1 day in a buy. And let's put it up on J4X. Right there. There we are. I can't tell if that's weak. Look, that's a little green there too. But let's see. Our white line here is not piercing the dotted line yet. The RSI is trying to back off, and let's see what it looks like through our work. Right there. It's holding on. Now you've got 2 volatility signals in a row. Let's widen that out again. And it's fighting to stay in the buy. Let's widen that out too. And you can see there, it's plot 1 is plus. And let me answer that one. And then where am I at from there? So you can see, you know, the time manifold's tightening up. Did the same thing here and lifted back up again. Tightened up here and it lifted up. It tried to, I guess you could say it started tighten up here from that news, and it got wild and woolly and broke down. So we shall see what this does. You can see the weekly seems to be holding on with no problem at all. The white line has been underneath the time manifold now for 2-3 full weeks, you know, ever since that news. But it hasn't been able to find a way to get into a weekly sell. So it's probably trying to scream at us to say, you know, this could be more end of the year action than it is the economic, you know, political changes. I mean, that's really the way to look at it. All right. Taking some nuts. Breakfast nuts to eat. All right. So there's the Turkish lira. You know, it's just such a long, tortured run. We'll see what they do with that. See if this... there's a lot of red dots there. But we're starting to get the green. There's 3. And this one was able to do 3. This was 4 before it got to the red-green. Now we're getting 2 of them in a row. I don't know. I really, you know, I was wondering if we were going to die at 52 weeks, but it doesn't look like the weekly is going to go under. So, you know, we look at 53 weeks coming into Monday possibly at this point. Curious, curious. All right. Now, Canadian. It's been a little slide there. Line 20. 2 weeks in the sell and 7 days in the sell. That's that's another indication that oil should be firm. This is moving down. And just a quick run over. I mean, you can see the weekly is really getting buried here. And where's that? NASCAD. Let's just go to the NASCAD real quick. There it is. Now it keeps on marching up. It tried to get into the sell. Did it get into the sell yesterday? I think it did. Yes. We were like 18 days or 19 days. You can see that's line 23. Slid into a sell and looks like it's trying to move right back into the buy again. Gave us a volatility signal. Last two double volatility signals gave us this long run. This one here gave us a nice fast drop. This one here gave us a very mild move up. This one here gave us a little bit more firmer move up. And this one here gave us a really good firm move up. And this one here gave us a really, really good firm move up. I don't know. End of the year, traders. I try not to get too comfortable with a trend because of the money having to be maneuvered for tax reasons. But this does scream oil wants to go up. Let's go over to take a look at the short term again. There it is right there. Well, it's trying to bounce back up, but it's got a red dot going on. I'm feeling the resistance of that line there. All right, let's go back to the currencies. All right, so that's the, let's see what yen is doing. I know it went into a buy last couple of days, and it looked like it was flirting with the weekly buy, but it's rolled over again. So we can remove that. Bummer. It really was fighting to do that. But now it seems to have rolled over the weekly number. How about that? I guess it's so tight. The range is so tight. You know, it just little moves. There we go. What else can we say about the yen? Not much. Just the fact that it's in a buy for what, day or two? 2 days? 2 days right there on line 19. But 11 weeks in a sell. That's a pretty, in many ways, this reminds me of the Swiss, the way the Swiss has been. And then it's just been even worse when it comes to the idea of it's a longer trend. Wow, it's like an oscillation, and now it's just running down the dead center. That's wild. I guess that's why we put that line in there. We must have identified the oscillation with this big move right there, that crazy move from 102 to 112 in a matter of 2 weeks. So it's like a wild oscillation. Waves and frequencies. All right, where do we go from here? Let's jump over to we did crude. So we'll just take a look at the daily again real quick and then jump right over to gold. And there you go there. That's what's going on there on the daily. And we're fighting to stay into the buy. And the weekly is taking off from last week's signal of being long. And it's definitely firm and moving north. All right, there's gold. Gold doing the same thing. And today Robin wrote about this on Wednesday. You know, there's gold trying to get through. You know, plot 1 and plot 4, it's a plus. It's fighting. It is fighting. And we're in the daily buy here, and it's pushing up. What a wild and woolly that adventure that has been. Look at that. It's going on a third day. What's that, line 6? Line 6. 2 days in a buy, 1 week in a sell. And now it's trying to fight its way back into a buy again on a weekly trend, on that longer term, broader trend. All right, let's see. Quiet morning, just me and mature middle-aged muscle. That's it, middle-aged muscle. All right, now let's take a look at silver, because silver's been even more of a thrust up. You know, same situation, a couple of weeks in a buy, rolls over here with the daily sell. They break down, goes into a weekly sell, and here we are. trying to be in a buy again. 3 full days in a buy. This is the 4th day now. The weekly has been firm enormously from the beginning of Monday. So they're not exactly running away from this market. It's the other way around. They're just, and it's that same sideways action. Just, for a couple months now, it's just sideways. Let's see if we can contract it a little bit more. And that's something like an 8-year high right there, where we went up to almost 30. Yeah, that's 30 right there, $30 an ounce. Obviously, the all-time high is like $50 an ounce, but no doubt that's a heck of a move. And we came from the $11 area. Wow. All right. What's next here? Let's check out. I guess we look at natural gas, which is kind of curious. It's been in a weekly sell now for a good long trend. Weeks 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we've switched the month. We just left December a couple days ago. It expired last Friday, I think it was. So you can see here, pressure is on it again to go down. I guess they're not seeing a cold enough winter, stuff like that. And then, so we were looking at Robo. There's Robo there, December Robo. And that's got to be coming to the end of its game too. Yeah, there we go. So let's do this. Let's change that. First, let's change that to January, in case someone wants to see Robo again. And that's that gas oil, the fuel that powers cars there. Let's see. RB. So that's right there. That one right there. And backspace it. Right there. There we go. And you can see here, it's been in a sell for a few days. I guess that's the first one. Is that a minus? That's a minus. So it went into the sell here. Like that. And now it's trying to, but it went into a weekly buy here on the close of Friday. And let's see, so that would be like right there. And it rolled over, went into a sell. And now it looks like it's trying to climb up. Let's give it a refresh again, just in case. And it doesn't look too exciting either way. So that's the way the energy complex is really functioning at the moment. Let's save that. Oh, I know what I need to do is put in what it is. Boom, 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 boom. Jan. Robo. Robo. Okay. And let's save that. And that's the fuel for the machines, for the automobiles. Someone asked me this morning about the lithium batteries. They said, how do they recycle those things? I said, they don't. They bury them. They're very toxic. It's like, I thought they were supposed to be good for the environment. It's like, nothing's good for the environment. I don't know why people keep on thinking that there's like renewable energies. wouldn't if they'd open up a physics book, they would find out there is no such thing as a renewable energy. I guess it's a disgrace of education, where so many people and government officials try to make policy on something that doesn't exist. I mean, you can pollute. Pollution is easy, but it has more of a narrow effect in a small area. It doesn't really have that much of an effect at all on the planet. I mean, obviously Chernobyl, that's a pretty good pollution situation, radioactive pollution. But even that's starting to rehabilitate itself. All right, let's see, where do we go from here? How about Deck Bitcoin? You see this thing is trying to battle its way back into the game. Let's refresh that. Showing strength. The weekly doesn't really have much energy on the downside. I mean, it's moving down at the moment. You can see this for the last couple of weeks, but then that's what we've done is we've topped out there. Now the daily is trying to perk its little head up. We've done an all-time high. This was right around here it started when Guggenheim, I've been mentioning that, started buying this stuff, $531 million worth. You have to really worry when they do something. I get scared because usually it's the opposite that's going to happen. Let's see. Could you look at Feb hogs? Yeah, and Feb live cattle. Sure. Open. There it is. Robin 2, right? There it is. And there is. What is that? There's let's see. There's Feb hogs. Which one did you ask for first? Yeah, Feb hogs. There you are. So that's, it's broken into the weekly. Let's put that circle in there because it's been firm all week. And we don't want more of those. Stop. Let's get that arrow going. Gone. Remove. There we are. So it's broken into the weekly there. That's interesting. Sell-off was interesting there. That one caught all that nice action. We've got two volatility dots back to back, and then what did they do? They gave us a bottom. And you can see the histogram. We're running a 3-5 super on this, which is interesting. Usually we just run a 3, but we're running a 3-5 super. It seems to fit the frequency and the trend of this product in particular. Let's see what it is. All right. So, what else are we seeing here? Let's see. Okay, that makes about sense there. Now, let's take a look at. There is Feb cattle, and Feb cattle has been in the daily buy for a bunch of days now, and that red dot kicked out, but the lines were so firm. Now we're just running a gas 5 on that. And we're running a 3-5. This is a really weird one. That's a freaked out frequencies on this thing too. And so we're flirting with a weekly buy also in there. It's been in a weekly sell since here. Rallied way up into here with a daily buy giving us the warning, but no weekly buy. And then it broke down again. And now let's put that in there. Looks like it's going to close in a weekly buy. Right there. So that's Fed. Oh, what's up with this that it wants to do that? Stop. There. So, no. We want the arrow. There we go. So it looks like this may close in a weekly buy just like hogs. And let's see, there's no the volatility signal came on the sell off. But that was the last one for the move up. And then there was a volatility signal for the move down on that one. Sometimes they occur and sometimes they don't. Like here it did it again. And then right here, 2 doubles and then a move up. It's like it really, those volatility signals are fascinating when they do that. I don't have much control over that. It's math. Math is doing its own gig. We just kind of watch it. We don't have much control over that. Matter of fact, we have no control over that. Let's see. What is this? Keep on getting dinged. Swipe up. Okay. What do we have there? Whoop. Someone's dinging me. There you are. All right. So, let's see. That's live cattle. And it's showing nice strength in there. And we've been in a daily buy for, what is that? We don't do that on dailies. Okay, we don't put a line on there at all. Matter of fact, that spreadsheet doesn't even have cattle on it. It just has the 3 grains. That's it. Corn, soybean, and wheat. All right, now we'll jump back to the commodities, or let's say not the agriculturals. And we'll take a look at copper, which is really weird. I thought it had jumped in a bind and it rolled over, and the the data came in from the exchange. They reversed it, and I just let the thing read itself. That's what I always say to Robin. Just read the cards and weep. Whatever it is, it is. And you can see here we're getting a volatility signal up at the top here with the copper. We are in the 3.5 area. That's not bad. What's all-time highs? Like 410 or something like that, right? So I mean, we're really showing some strength for a very odd situation and economy. This thing keeps on trying to show more life in it. You can see the weekly's been in a trend for a while, and it has gone up from the 3s to the 3.5s. So it's been a nice, firm, steady drive. I thought this was pretty cool, where it went into the sell here and went on for a while, and it tried to perk up, and then we got in the buy here, and it paid for itself, which was nice. And then went into a sell again, and it's in a weekly buy, so you're not really supposed to try to take the short. And then you got it back into the buy again here, and it was off to the races. Right there was the sell there. So that's copper. And again, that's usually an indicative of world growth. Because they assume that you're going to see construction and activity, that type of thing. All right, now let's see, where are we? Who else is out there to play with? Oh, let's look at the stock indices. There is the NASDAQ. It's been fighting to be firm. It's been in a weekly buy since, this crazy little hitch here. And it gets into its buys. It gives you some strength, and it does some of this stuff, the sloppiness. Again, end of year. And then, could it be a 1 over? Is that right? Let's see if it's that. Yeah, I guess that is. It's a 3. So that's the buy right there. And so, it's been holding up pretty firm. Now this is really starting to jack itself up on the upside when it comes to the weekly algorithm. And then, sure, anybody wants to see anything out there? Because I'm just roaming through all the indices and the commodities and so forth. We can always jump to whatever you're interested in, a currency or another commodity or whatever. All right, now you can see here on the S&P 500, it's been sloppy. That little sell there put some pressure on it, and then now it's trying to lift up. The weekly, and there's the weekly. Let's see, so just missed the weekly by the hair of its chinny chin chin, but this whole week it's been very, very strong. No, I don't want that. Go away. Where's that arrow at? There we are. So this has been, look at the size of that height of it. Let's see if we can contract that. We haven't been up there since I guess that was the last all-time high. No, that's not all-time high, was it? Yeah, I guess that was. It hit it and it fell down. And now we're marching through that all-time high. And just day in and day out, it finds ways to go to higher highs as much as they try to sell it down. Let's take a sip of water here. All right. So there's the two major stock indices. That's the Tech 100 on NASDAQ, which is what Dukascopy calls it. Now we have the S&P 500. They have that also on their J4X. And there is the Russell, which is the most speculative of all. You see here, it's been playing sideways in a daily sell for a couple of days here now. They try to lift it. You can see we went into the weekly buy off of this low in here. And then it joined in, told us to be long, and now it's been kind of telling us to be sideways. So not a lot of, like I keep on warning you, like every 20, 30 minutes for the last 3 weeks. It's tax season, traders. People have to offset their positions so that they can make more money, so they pay less taxes. So you're going to get all kinds of, quick shots in a market. That's why you see some of those spikes, the illiquidity in the equity market itself. And that's pretty much all we can say about that. It's just all end of the year tax stuff that we're really feeling. All right. What else can we look at here? There's a Dow Jones. Let's look at the Dow Jones. We'll look at all 4 stock indices. So you can see we keep on making all-time highs and then kind of sideways chopping. But look at that weekly. It's lifting well. Like the Russell, we're in a daily sell for a few days here. Now there was a double dot. And gave us a buy and a sell, but not much of a win there. There's a double dot. Gave us a buy and not much of a win. This one here was a little bit better. Double dot gave us a sell, and it was a nice win. This one, same thing. Gave us a double dot, gave us a buy, and it was a great win. So sometimes you get trapped in the small things, and then sometimes you catch this. And it's a percentage thing where it happens. You know, it's a high percentage that you're going to catch those waves, and you keep on following it. You're going to be winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right. Let's keep on rolling down there because no one seems to be... I guess everybody's already toast, you know. Now, here's something I looked up very early this morning. This is the 10-year bond or / note. And it has gone from the 0.6 something and change, 7 change, to yielding 9 point something. So rates are going up here. We're seeing some pressure on interest rates. Now, dollar's going down. I did see China over this year has sold $40 billion worth of bonds. When you have almost $1 trillion worth, it's awful hard to take 40 billion too serious. That's pocket change, and they're just trying to prop their economy up, you know. So, I really don't think that there's like a collapse of the dollar and the bond market going on per se, as much as it's just adjusting, possibly adjusting to the idea of you know, Biden being involved and inflation coming around the corner. I don't know, something like that. You know, bond vigilantes will get nervous when they see someone like a Biden floating around to be involved. That whole thing is still not over with, so no matter what the media tries to tell you, forget about it. You know, we'll have a better idea in about 11 days, you know. Around the 14th, that's when the Electoral College does its thing. So that's where the rubber meets the road, as they would say around here. All right, now, what else do we got going on here? Let's see, that was the 10-year. There's some metals that are there, palladium and platinum, and the DAX. Let's see what DAX, the ETF in the United States, is showing. It's doing the same thing. It's running high and firm and steady. We did go in daily sell for this, but look at it. Didn't help any. And we've been in a weekly buy for 4 full weeks. You know, going on a 5th week. So, you know, the stock indices around the world, besides the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, are all showing strength. They're all showing that there's buying going on. Usually, stocks are bought for inflationary periods. You know, sometimes they can be a good return. You know, they can raise prices on customers. That's usually the attitude about it all. All right. What else can we look at? Anybody have anything else to look at? If not, I'll just keep on. I will go and, you know, start exploring some of the commodities here. Like we were looking at, there's soybeans. And we'll just refresh them. And you can see here, it's trying to fight its way into the buy today. We're getting a volatility signal on the soybeans. So until anybody jumps in and says, hey, I'd like to see something, I'm just going to go through this whole rhythm here of the grains and see what we can learn from that. And then we looked at hogs. There's hogs looking very, very happy. So Feb hogs are doing well. I think what we're doing is we're sending out both Feb and Dec hogs to everybody that's watching this stuff now, because Decs are getting ready to go out the door. The volume is very low on them, and there's a little volatility signal. And so, you know, we want all the subscribers at Chicago Quant to be able to see what's going on. You know, and here at Dukascopy, we talk about the idea of, you know, what the tax season is doing to these products at the same time. We want everybody to be aware of the physical, not like, you know, oh, I'm bullish or, oh, I'm bearish, but the physical force that's being pressured on a lot of these products due to the tax structure. In other words, it's, January 1st, whole new year, and if you try to take profits then and don't do it off of losses, ouch. I mean, that's about basically the only way to describe it is ouch. So, nobody asking any questions there. Let's take a look at, there's March corn, giving us a volatility signal yesterday. No, that's today. That's cool. Let's give it a refresh. And we're playing around with some buying in there. And you can see how long we've been in a weekly buy. What's the spreadsheet say on line 2? It says 16 weeks. No, not 2 of those. We want 1 of those. There we are. So you can see here, corn is moving up. There's all that talk about the necessity of feeding China. China's starving at the moment. I don't understand how they think they can be a world power if they can't even feed their people. It really confuses me. And they enslave them at the same time. It sounds like a Mad Max film, There's March wheat. And you can see here that the daily is trying to get back up into that action. It's been in a sell. The weekly's really close, also in a sell. But look how flat that whole thing is. No real clear direction there. Just a sideways chop. Now there's January feeders. They're young cattle. You see it's still holding on to the weekly. And the daily is looking firm. This thing likes the trend. Notice the distance between the different buys and sells in that. What an interesting product, Let's do that. There it is, Jag cattle. And there is bean oil in January. Let's give that a refresh. You see it's trying to fight its way back up into a buy, but the weekly's already there. So it's not really not trying to sell itself down any. If anybody wants to see any particular product, please just throw it up on the chat line. Because, we're just going through everything we can look at because there's very few questions today. And so, because there's very few questions, we're moving fast through all this stuff. Now you can see here it's flirting with the buy today. Today is the 3rd, right? Yeah, 3rd. And so we'll go like that. And save that one. And that's meal. That's January meal. Oh, what we can do is we can get rid of that, right? Yeah, so that's, get rid of that, delete. And just go, oh, wait a minute. There it is there. Not March meal. Oh, I'm sorry. So what we need to do is we need to save that again. Okay, so save. Yes. There we are. And then if I go double check that, see if it's there again. There it is, back in its spot. Okay, perfect. Now, okay, there we are. And so that's what meal is trying to do. It's, it looks like all of it is doing that. It's all firm. It's all in weekly buys, just a little correcting. Again, end of the year, profit taking. I guess, that's the only way to really digest that stuff and try to figure out what is pushing it. Now, at this point here, you're getting a volatility signal on March red wheat, Minneapolis / Kansas City wheat. You can see the weekly's been just really firm for a while here. Look at that. I mean, way back there. That's in the teens, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 14 weeks? 15 weeks? It's like corn. There it is. 16 weeks? Wow. A lot of pressure on the upside. Ah, here we go. Middle Age says commercial hedgers hold a record short position in beans. Really? Why are they short it? I guess because of the height of it for the time of the year. And I guess the Chinese are consuming it. And that's why you see them selling U.S. bonds to get, that money to buy food for their people. Or they'll have, issues. People will have issues. Save. And let's just put that in there. There's the red wheat. But that's the only way I can interpret what's going on. And we'll do that one. And let's see, that's doing the same thing there. That's the deck deliverable corn doing the same exact thing, trying to show life again. And and Robin and I were looking at the volume in that, and it's really low. It's barely being there. So that makes total sense what you're saying, that the commercial hedgers hold a record short position. I don't understand these guys, why they don't use the options correctly. They could do bull spreads and bear spreads, and they could do back spreads and stuff like that. I've always said it to my local farmers. Why do you guys trap yourselves into selling your crop at such a at lower prices when you have like 5 months in the season still, or 3 months not 5 months, but 3 months in the season still? You could do options and be just as protected. One way, no matter how you cut it, you're farming 2,000 acres or something. You're going to get close to 2,000 acres, or you got the government insurance to protect you, one or the other. So why not hedge it correctly? And why, when you go into the forward market and sell these things, it's the same thing with the currencies. You go into the forward market and you sell these things, you're really giving it away. You're better off in the options market if you're a producer or need the product. And you're going to be buying currencies because you're buying engines or wood or chemicals or whatever from another country. And that you're not going out of business tomorrow morning. You're a Fortune 500. Why do you go into the forward market? I just don't understand that. It always messes with me. So record shorts, I hope they, I can see around here, they are slow. You must be right. You must be totally right, because they are very, very slow to bring in crop. I see a lot of soybeans still out in the field. I keep on thinking, with this price of the soybeans, let's go over to soybeans again, right there. With soybeans up to almost 12 there, and then now it's still at $11.65 a bushel. So with that price, and I see those things sitting out in the field, obviously they don't want to take delivery, that's for sure. Those are trapped at taking a delivery up at the high prices. Hey, Daniel. Oil, gold, silver, look bullish. All right, let's check it out. All right, so we've been, middle-aged Muscle and I have been looking at the oil. So let's close that. And let's jump over to your first one. There's oil. Right there. Yeah, look at that. It's climbing up again, trying to push. That's the daily and the weekly. And then we can go over to here and take a look at the 4 hour. Look at the 4 hour. It's busted through that line. Remember, it was underneath that earlier. Now we're lifting through the line here. Let's give that a refresh. Maybe that red dot is gone. Yep, look at it. The red dot is even gone now. It's not green yet, but the red dot. And I think that line was way down. Way down. I think it was bigger. Now it's coming back up and moving. So we're starting to make a move to the upside there. Like that, maybe? I guess that's what it is. Off of that top, from that top. And then resistance there, and then playing with it now. So there's oil. Let's see, gold. Let's do gold. Where's gold at? There we are. And there's gold. Gold's doing the same thing, showing firmness. Very firm. Same situation in the buy. And even our weekly now is, look at it. The weekly is actually through there. Let's throw a little circly thing in. We're going to make it dotted. Solely because it's, very soft, I guess you could say. Very soft. There, it's dashed. There we are. So you can see there, that's pressing up. And then, what was the last one? Oh, yeah, silver. Silver, same way. And there's silver. Yeah, Robin was totally hepped up on the silver. He was like, you know, should I sell it? I said, what are you selling it for? He's got these long positions in them. I mean, like for years. It's like, why are you selling some? Like, I said, take some profit, sure, because, but nothing more than that. Yeah, I said, geez, buy some. We were watching all this right here. I was like, buy it. Buy low, sell high. You know, I mean, we're flirting with a daily buy. What hell? So I think he went in and bought more, like down in this low area right here. So, and then you can see here the pressure is on. All right, that answers Daniel's oil, gold, and silver, but looks bullish. See, stock indices look bullish too. Only dollar index is bearish. Yeah, we went through the stock indices. You know, the Nasdaq has been riding high like a cowboy. Look at that, and we've been in a weekly buy for weeks now. Whereas the S&P, you know, we're in a sell and we're flirting with the weekly buy. We're in a daily buy for just a few days, and these are all-time highs. So money wants to obviously, you know, run, Forrest, run. And then there's the Russell 2000, and you can see it's like the, oh, look at that, we're getting a little volatility signal again. Interesting. It's at all-time highs, and oh, there you go, the green dot's going again, and you can see this is pressing underneath again. So, you know, the stock indices are definitely doing that. Let's see. Daniel says Turkish lira, dollar Turkish lira. If it stays underneath the 8 handle, it will continue to be bearish, bullish for Turkish lira. Yes, we looked at that this morning. Let's go over to that. That's in the Forex. Right there. And it's just holding on by its chinny chin. Let's refresh that. I think when we looked at it this morning, it was plus, but right now it could be literally a minus. What do we got there? We've got, yep, look at that. Plot 1 is minus, and so is plot 4. So it's minus 0.0005. Remember, I created this mathematics for the Higgs boson. So it can get pretty wild on the numbers going way, way out. Not even a full point it's looking at. My math is taking tranches of enormously minute movements and reading it. And you can see here the pressure is on again. We were trying to lift up, and we had that volatility yesterday. And you can see it lifted up, and now it's rolling over. That's Turkish lira, as you say. And look at this. We're wondering, are we going to see this 52 finally be the 52? I mean, you know, 52 weeks in a buy. Are we really going to go to 53? I mean, I keep on scratching my head and trying to figure that one out, too. I mean, I think this is all taxes. I don't think it really has anything to do with the foreign minister and finance minister or whatever. Finance minister and sovereign fund manager, who was the same guy. Aragon's son-in-law. So I'm not really sure that this really has that much of an effect. This could be a mask. It could be hiding it. All right. Anything else, Daniel? We can go after. If not, let's do this. Let's go to Forex. I need to save these 4 Forex so we can take a look at some of the Forex that we use for some of the clients in Dukascopy. Ooh, I hear another one. Who's this? Oh. Who's this? Oh. All right, so there it is. There's the cable, and you can see that we looked at the cable earlier, and it's just showing strength, and more strength. Let's see now. Let's save that, and let's just refresh it too, and the weekly blast off that it's been doing. I guess they're going to try to break this out of the range because of the way we see the weakness in the dollar. You know, we've talked about it, and it seems to be that way. You know. Oh, here we go. Boeing. You want to see Boeing? Sure. I can dig up Boeing. Let's check it out. Let's go to the stock. Let me just answer here. Let me expand on that. All right, there we go. Let me see now. Where are we at here? Boeing. So let's go to our stock combo right there, and we'll put Boeing in there. Boeing. BA. Let's see. We got there, right there. We got the Russell there. So let's do this. Let's make a copy of that, and we're going to put Boeing in there. And this way, if you ask that question again, we don't have to do this song and dance. Aren't we just accommodating? Aren't we just wonderful? Don't you just love us? All right, let's put Boeing in there. All right, there's BA. Off of the NYSE. BA. There we go. Let's see what it looks like here. All right, now, wow. Isn't that curious how it follows the Russell? Because this was the Russell chart, right? Yeah, this was the Russell chart. So look at that. Goes into a sell like the Russell did and falls down. We get a volatility signal. We're playing with a buy there. Just move it over one like so. And then, what do? We move this over to, is that a minus? That's a minus there. We get a little breakdown. Breakdown. And there's a buy. I love that. And then there's a sell. And then there's a buy. And there's a sell. And there's a buy. Wow, it's getting a little trafficy now, isn't it? Yeah, welcome to the tax season. And there's the sell. Let's fix that to the red. And then there's the sell again. And then there's the buy. Now let's see what the weekly says. Let's see if we can widen this thing a little bit too. And so, what do we got here? We got, that's a sell, right? That's a minus. So let's put that way over there. Or let's see, let's put that where the buy should be. That is the buy right there. And then we can move that sell over because we're not using it. And we can move that buy over. We're not using that. And then, is that a minus? No, that's a plus. So what we can do is we move this over to here. There's your sell. What was that? That's a plus also. Take that buy and move it over to here because that is a buy. And then let's scrunch this little puppy up. And oh no, to buy, what is that? That's a sell, right? Yeah, that's a sell. Where did that sell start? Let's move it over more and see. Right there. Okay. Let's see if we can widen this thing. There we are. That's a little bit better to read. And so you can see there's the sell, there's the buy. Well, that didn't do you any favors. But it went into the sell with the buy. Oh, I love how this math does that sometimes. It's funny as all get out. And it tried to get into a buy here and then failed. See, there's a minus. So it gives us a red-green, tells us some volatility is coming. Smack-a-doodle, volatility, rally, rally. There's another one right there. There's one there. It was rally, rally very poorly. Let's see. And then nothing there. Okay. So how's that? That was pretty cool, huh? Isn't it neat to look at a new product and watch how the math does all its job? Oh, you do a good job. You do a good job, math. Good math. Come here, math. Come here. Come on, boy. All right. Let me just save this. There we are. And so we'll have that for you, Daniel, if you ever go, hey, I'd like to see what Boeing's doing. I'm going back to saving that. Please ask me something else. I'd like to stop doing what I'm doing and do something else. Trust me. Oh, wait a minute. I'm past my time anyway. Doc would just keep on rolling along talking about markets and looking at math. I am the ongoing research project. That is what I am. I mean, I find this math so fascinating. Bullish from 175. Let's go back to that real quick, and then we'll call it a day, and I'll do my song. 175. Let's see. Let's scrunch that up a little bit for you. Went into a buy here. Look at that for this whole move up. And the daily caught it, too, and gave us a volatility signal. So that was like, what, 150 something, right? And then ran all the way up to 234? Wow. Can you ask for any better technical analysis than this? I mean, honestly. I mean, I wish Heisenberg was still alive. I'd say, I got it figured out. There is no uncertainty principle. Or Planck, I could straighten out his quantum mechanics. Where or when? Forget it. We do where and when. Okay. This is Doc from North America being totally insane as usual and excited by the math. It does it for me for 40 some odd years. I get excited about it every time I see it do its thing. So, happy trails to you. Until we meet again, which is TGIF tomorrow. Happy trails to you. To all my electronic trading pit and crowd friends.